Okay, so there's many of you here tonight. Well, first, thanks, Nikolai, for having me here. But otherwise, if we were a little bit less people, we will be at the home. So the home is like, it's here in the office. But yeah, I'm really decided about 2 years ago that although we focus on the distribution of videos, things are changing. People are no longer just on laptops, desktops, and mobile phones. They're interacting with the Internet of Things. And they decided to actually create this experience so that we could study it. We showcase it, talk to our clients, but also study it and understand how the ambient era of advertisement is challenging your brand and how emotional intelligence is going to be crucial to stand out and to maintain a close relationship with your consumers. And obviously, if you're talking about the Internet of Things, this is technology, and AI runs all through it. So let's start. I'm gonna show you a little bit the home first. So that was the video. That was the video. And yeah, the way that we are running it is we build the home. I'll show you pictures in a minute. And we are doing brainstorming sessions with our clients and partners. We are doing product launches. So Nokia launched the latest health ecosystem there in the home. We also have celebrities and brand ambassadors coming to see us. We had Elena, we were talking about the future of AI. That was for banking and the post-mobile era. And then obviously it's also a great space to showcase a lot of technology products from our partners and whatnot to our visitors, but also many times we're interviewing television. It's a great space, and I hope that at some point you can come back and come and see it. I'm going to show you some pictures. It's a full house, and there's a kitchen. In the bedroom we talk about the future of health, and here we talk about something really cool, which is going to be smart mirrors. So imagine that anything you do visual today that appears in the mobile phone will eventually appear also in the smart mirrors. And for us, in the way we designed it, art was very important. And we've been talking a little bit about art. But it was very important because it is kind of, the last limit or the last ceiling for AI to really take over. So we have real paintings in the home, but also we have digital art. So we're partnering with a company called Neon, who is kind of the Spotify of digital art. It collects all the new artists that are doing digital work, and you can do playlists basically. But not only in your home, they're doing airports, they're doing really cool stuff. And yeah, I wanted to mention this piece. You already explained absolutely how it works. But that's the idea, is to what extent are we going to start having this in our homes, having this as part of our advertisement and so on. We are getting a copy, obviously not the original, we are getting one of these for the home. But yes, the way that it was done explained it very well, is using the influence. And this is what you have to think about, is that these stills, so the way they work is actually how we learn, how we really learn. So at some point there won't be a difference. But right now there is a difference, because still it's a human who has to feed the machine. And that is the key. When there is a point when there is no human feeding the machine, that's when perhaps we will be talking much closer about the differentiation. But yeah, feeding the discriminator is really what's making this algorithm very clever, because it's using the plan. That's the difference from what we had before. So the main thing that we are focusing in the home is actually these technologies. So voice and lenses. Lenses is the capability of your phone to identify what you are looking at through the phone, to identify it and take action from it. And that can be from finding out more about that object, to shop it, and so on. So actually, voice and lenses, these are new search engines, yeah, and they also work with search engine optimization algorithms and so on. So it's very interesting, and we're looking very closely at the growth of these, and more particularly how voice and image are coming together. I'm going to show you now. And then lastly, we are also focusing on AR more than VR at the moment, because it's incredibly more accessible. But is the new way in which people are exploring products. So if you want to find out more about a brand, that's the first stage to engage with the consumer, is people want to know about a brand or about a product. they use search engines. So before people Google, now they use voice and lenses to find out more about a product. Then before they want to purchase it, they want to experience it. So maybe they go to a retail space or they talk to a friend, but if they're at home, they will watch videos, right? Well, maybe not anymore, because with AR, they can actually launch a product in front of them or an experience in front of them, and that way explore a product or a brand values through AR before they decide to make a purchase. And that's why all of this is very important for us. And on top of that, we have AI. What this means for advertising is that now brands have to be accessible on demand. Voice, lenses, AR, these are things that the consumer will choose when they want to launch, when they want to ask a question. So you have to be accessible on demand. For everything else, you will have AI. So that advertising is no longer seen as something that is interactive and impersonal. That is what's killing advertising. But thanks to AI, it will be personalized and it should be timely, responsibly appearing in the right place, right time, right format, and right device. So talking about formats, let's look at the first example, which is voice. And we know now that the trend is growing of screens coming to voice, and also voice coming to screens. So the new televisions are coming with voice assistants. Also, you have to think long term what this means for the consumer's lifestyle, and is that these products are not just for the luxury market. We see a lot of alternatives popping up, which means that everyone very soon, independent of the market, is going to have personal assistant, and if everybody has a personal assistant, that's going to change their lifestyle completely. The personal assistant is going to do ordinary stuff. People should be more passionate about what they do every day, and they should have more free time, and how our brands going to utilize this. So an example is you might bring friends home and you might want to create cocktails with friends, and you use the Diageo Alexa skill. I can't explain you all the really clever things that they have done with it, but the main thing for you to think about is that it has the AI, quite basic. It's just a decision tree with 3 questions and 60 cocktails at the bottom. So it's a very basic decision tree, but it has images that go with it, and at some point it will have video that go with it. So let's just have a look at the ad. Again, so that should play automatically.
Let's say you have some friends over. And to shake things up, just say, Alexa, open the bar.
Welcome to the bar.
It's like a personal bartender, except you don't need to tip. Let's start with a classic.
Old fashioned coming right up. Start with the sugar and ice. Pour in the whiskey. Stir patiently. Garnish with an orange zest. Cheers.
And for friends that don't know what they want, it can even find something for them.
Would you like something sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Looks like you're in the mood for a cosmopolitan.
Just mix, shake, twist, strain, peel, flame, and serve. Boom. Look at you, Mr. Bartender. Just say, Alexa, open the bar to start making cocktails. Alexa, I feel like a vodka martini.
Do you like that shaken or stirred?
Okay, so a few things to notice there, and I'll launch the image again just quickly. I mean, you can think of this in many levels. One, you have an AI that is triggering phrases depending on what you're asking, and then different image will have to trigger with this, and eventually that will be animated image or videos and so on. So you really have to think of how these two are combined together. But also you have to think on another level on the whole experience. So there is many lines of creativity that is being used here, and it's not just the visual aspect, but it's the entire experience. And also then we go back to the final video. How do you communicate a new behavior to your consumer? Videos are still extremely relevant to communicate that behavior. People have these devices at home, they have no idea what to do with them, how to connect them with anything else. It's the role of the agencies and the brands to educate the consumer and to steer that behavior where you want it. So it's a great opportunity, because the makers of these devices are not doing the right job, or the full job. Another way that you might want to have to be very creative, and we're already working on this and it's very challenging, is that we have this in the home. Siemens is one of the partners, and Siemens reorders its own tablets. Okay, so we don't, I mean, in what way can we use emotional intelligence there, or advertisement, or cool videos to make a consumer change a brand when they are already coming like this to the manufacturer, right? So we have to find extremely creative ways of using these kind of systems. We call them the new B2B, so that's the new bot-to-bot advertisement, where a brand might choose not to be the loudest, which is what you do today. Let's try to be the loudest, let's make sure everybody knows we're here. But it's the opposite, it's I am trusted and loved because I work behind the scenes and I am absolutely here. So this happens with the fridge as well. The fridge has image recognition, so the fridge can actually know what you have in your fridge, but also know what brands you have in your fridge. So if you remove a juice and you don't put it back, it's going to reorder it. You're going to eternally drink the same juice. unless we figure out ways of interfering these, and that's kind of what we are studying today. And how are you going to use this kind of AIs and creativity to create different experiences? Another way of, now we talked a little bit about voice, now we move into image recognition. So with image recognition, today we can do things like this. We know already, I'm not being trying to think, but a very important thing when we're working with technologies is how can you develop things that doesn't need to change consumer habits. Yeah. Because if you don't need to change consumer habits, you don't need to make the effort to change them. So people already love taking pictures of their food. Some might share it, some not. But let's say that you love to share them, and one day you actually want to cook them. So without changing consumer behavior, you should be able to send these, upload these to be cooked, let's say next Saturday because I'm inviting friends home. So already what we see on an Android phone, this is only on Android at the moment, is that it recognizes the brand of the beer, so it has image recognition and text recognition. So with that picture, and this is real right now, I know that that's a chain beer and some kind of steak or something like that. It's ignoring the salad because who cares? You have the beer, you have the beer. The essential bits are there. So without changing existing behavior of the consumer, what will happen in the background? Here's where you have to be very creative. How are you going to use this AI to be very creative about your brand? Well, for example, okay, I know you want to cook that, I know what it is, I know which restaurant you were because I have your location. So let's say that this restaurant had specific partnerships with brands that will ensure that you get the same flavor in your house. So when you say you want to cook it on Saturday, you say for how many people, everything else is done in the background, you will receive the order of that specific food in your house. And further down the line, obviously you will receive the videos and everything that you need to prepare it. Further down the line, the devices, the appliances will also be set to the right temperature, timing, and so on. And that is absolutely without changing consumer behavior. It's just the technology that runs behind it, run by AI. What it means for brands, more partnerships. We saw before the partnership between Siemens and Finnish. We're going to see partnerships between the fridge and brands. We're going to see restaurant partnerships, hotels partnerships, because all of this is going to be linked together. What else can you do with image recognition? Well, you can snap pictures of things and buying them. So Tommy Hilfiger did this. Okay, a full experience, a full event is shoppable. Then shop the billboards. Snap a picture of the billboard, add everything that's in the billboard to the basket. Shop items in the store by doing pictures, and shop not the models, but shop what the models are wearing, just by snapping pictures of them. So that happens already. And it will make you think of what you can do. For example, Snapchat didn't waste any time. They have a partnership with Amazon. Now you can snap things in the Snapchat. And if they are recognized and they are in Amazon, you can add them to basket straight away. And now AR, before finishing, the last one, why AR is important. Well, I can show you how you can have, for example, IKEA. IKEA is doing this very cleverly. Is that Oh, sorry, before I finish, two things about image recognition. The platforms that are developing image recognition, which is not just Google, you can do this in Messenger chatbots, you can do this with Pinterest, you can do this with ASUS. If you use ASUS, I don't know if you have noticed, you can buy, if you're bored in the tube, you can snap pictures of people and just buy whatever they're wearing. So two advantages for them, they are channeling that sell. Brands are spending a lot of money in having influencers wearing their garments or out-of-home advertisement or in a spread in a magazine, and what's people doing? Snapping pictures of that and buying it home. That is real behavior right now. It's almost more scary than voice shopping for many brands. So these channels, these platforms are channeling the sell through them, but also they know better than ever what the consumer wants. They have pictures of it. So they can instantly call the manufacturer and say, change the color right now, because what people want is pink or anything like that. Or also manage stock better and know that in London this is trending, in Scotland that other thing is trending, and manage stock better. So that's to finish with image recognition. And now with AR, I can show you an example of how you can see real objects incredibly accurately today just on your phone. In a way that they are real size or life size, but that's slightly boring. I think it's more interesting to see how you can immerse people in an experience. And Audi is doing a great job with this, where
Audi presents
they
the
realize it's not
Corchero
just about
coaster.
showing you the car
A
you're
new way to enjoy Corchero technology.
You can draw, this is called creation of AR. You can draw the roads on the air.
Individual experience
And Audi
by
is
designing your own road.
incredible
Drive through all four seasons.
on
Take
in
sharp
4
turns
seasons to show
and
you
climb
how
steep
the
hills.
car is to drive in 4 seasons. It's
Check
incredibly
out
fun,
the
the
innovative
details are
technology
amazing,
and try it yourself.
yeah, it's a great example of how you can use AR Kit or AR
Download the Audi Corchero coaster app and enjoy the AR
to immerse
experience
the
today.
consumer in that experience. And in co-creation with the AR, you actually draw the road yourself in the air and then it gets created. So that, for us, what that means, and I'm about to finish, is that we need to move fast, very, very fast into AR, and we're doing this already because our opportunity is that AR is no longer going to be just in-app. We know that AR is going to come on web. So we're working already on this, and I'm mentioning Jimi Hendrix again, Norton. Jimi Hendrix, forever. So, I told you, people want to know, they want to explore, and then they want to buy. So if you want to explore, right now, you might be reading an article, and if we know you're interested in this guitar, you might see a video of the guitar, but if your phone has AR capability, you will be able to launch that product or experience in AR directly from reading an article, and you can explore it, it's life-size, and then you should be able to add it to basket straight away. That's the kind of things that we're working on. And just to end, why we think AR is not a fad, because AR is coming from our phones and it's moving into our mirrors that are starting to pop up in many retailers, and they're starting to have pretty nice prices for home use as well. This is one that specializes only on beauty products. It has a special camera that can look deeper into your skin, and it has lighting. It's like an iPad with a mirror in front of it. And that retails for £250. So we're going to have them in our own house soon. And then what's going to happen after the mirrors, or before, or paralleling with the mirrors, is that we're finally going to have the glasses. And that's going to make the phone obsolete. You really need to start thinking how you're going to use all of this intelligence and 3D, 360, and AR imagery to immerse consumers in awesome experiences that use imaginary worlds together with very useful infographics. Because it's not a fad, it's definitely coming. And these glasses are now 4 years old, but we know the rumors and the patents that some of our favorite brands are working on, so get ready. We're going to have this year glasses that don't have accurate AR, but they have notifications, and after that it's just a matter of time, 3 years for early adopters, 5 for mainstream. So I think you should start getting your brands ready to work on AR. So these are the technologies we are exploring together with artificial intelligence, and I just wanted to leave you with one thing that many people are just wondering if AI, this is the question that you asked me at the beginning, what's happening, should we use AI, should we not use AI, is this the end of creativity and so on. And my opinion, not just my opinion, but what I hear from listening to the Financial Times, the Economist and so on, is that most people think AI is there to push boundaries. And anyway, that's what imagination and creativity is all about. So, thank you.